So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of The Shield on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And tonight I'm interviewing the band Ugly. So, they're a sludge band from Arizona, and they're putting out a new album that actually, as we're speaking right now, it premiered today on Metal Sucks. I think they had the stream so people can already stream it. I already listened to it, so I have all the band present here with me. So, how are you guys tonight?
Doing well. We're actually getting ready for a band practice so we can be sharp for the record release show tomorrow.
Nice. So let me know, what your name and what you do in the band for the people watching.
Sure. I'm Brandon. I play bass and I do vocals.
I'm Krista. I do vocals. I play synth. I do like soundscapes and things like that.
Awesome.
I'm Ben. I play drums.
I'm Chris. I play guitar.
Nice. So you guys are playing a show tomorrow. Where is the show for tomorrow for the release?
It's in Phoenix, Arizona. It's at a place called Palo Verde Lounge. It's with a band called Aftermath and Yellow Cake and Conniption Pit. All kind of younger, newer bands, and they're all totally different than us and totally different from each other. I'm trying to do variety shows as much as we can, and they totally rip.
I think that's good, because if you're going to a show and every band sounds the same, it can get monotonous. So it could be cool to have a little bit of variation. So the band Ugly. So I was reading the bio of how you describe your sound, and you want your sound to be abrasive, in your face, and that is what you get with this album. It's very abrasive in your face, but there's some interesting parts. Like there's like parts where there's like a spoken word, and then it gets all abrasive again. So when you were, I know you had a demo in 2017. How would you describe your music to someone that hasn't heard you?
I don't know. I like to think of it like walking into like a marital spat or like a domestic violence situation. It's intended to be pretty shocking because all the content is about like pretty shocking human behavior. Yeah.
More than once, our music's been referred to as a soundtrack to a horror movie.
Yeah.
I think it has a soundtrack kind of feel to it a little bit, and I think dynamics are really important to us. Brandon and I have a history of doing a lot of grindcore and like power violence stuff that's just like really loud all the time, and we just wanted to have a lot of dynamic.
Yeah, kind of mixing the two things of something that's like somewhat melodic or angelic with something that's totally crass and horrifying and like atonal. It makes the heavy parts even heavier. So
yeah, that's what because there's parts of the album where it slows down and then all of a sudden it gets like super heavy again. So yeah, it takes you by surprise. So I think if it's like heavy all the time, when like there's no surprise. But when you where you go like lower and then the loud, then is where you get surprised. So I'm gonna show the artwork of the album. So yeah, it's pretty cool artwork. You know that when I was seeing this artwork, it looks like it looks like you have mask on. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we've got this running theme of just like ideas of vanity and sort of like identity crisis and things. So in a lot of our art and imagery, we have just obscured faces. In this particular picture, we all have like plastic wrap and duct tape around our faces. And this actually was a photo shot at the Phoenix airport. That's what you're looking at, the Phoenix Sky Harbor terminal in the background.
And were you at the airport with the plastic things in your?
No, no, I think we would probably be taken in by airports.
Yeah, I was thinking Homeland Security would call someone like, hey, it's 4 people with duct tapes on their faces. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I did a little bit of Photoshop magic to put the two together. But I mean, just like the music, I I think we all kind of agreed that this imagery was extremely striking. You know, you look at it and I was always enamored by this giant exit sign when you're coming to the airport. It would actually take me by surprise a couple times coming in, take my eyes off the road because there's this humongous sign that says exit.
It's really big. Like no one,
It's suggestive.
no
Yeah.
one can miss that exit with that.
Yeah.
And I
So-
like how the logo. You can read that it says ugly, but it's ugly. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you
you
can
know,
read it, not like some other like extreme metal bands where you can't read what the fuck it says.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, back to your question about how we would describe the music, a parallel that I can think of is like if you're in a good neighborhood and you hear gunshots, rather than being in a bad neighborhood that you hear gunshots all the time, you know, that kind of thing. It's like if you hear it all the time, whatever, it becomes kind of you learn to sort of tune it out, kind of like heavy music that's just heavy all the time. But if you hear something out of place, that it catches your attention a little more. So music like what we're doing, where it's got these really dynamic shifts and like valleys in the heavy to ramp back up to it all of a sudden is just more. It's more like human nature too. I mean, people just they become unhinged out of nowhere. I mean, you can see that so much in current events now with just mass shootings and people doing horrible things out of nowhere. I mean, that's kind of like people turn on a dime. So to make music that complements the content of what we're talking about, this is the best way we can figure to do it, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. So on this album, I know there's like 5 songs. Like, what themes are you exploring in these 5 songs?
A lot of this record is about people's like vanity and ego,
And fanaticism.
and fanaticism. The title, the eponymous track, is actually about fanaticism, flattery. You know,
Is that Suckle or In My Pocket?
it's the title track, Autograph.
Autograph, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, flattery is a good thing, and it should be used as a good thing. I mean, it can humble a person, but taken too far to the point of like fanatical obsession. That's kind of what the song is about. And there's other, I mean, it's just basically about humans trying to control other humans in some way or another. The song Suckle is about grooming people for predatory purposes.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's just kind of, it's 5 tracks and they all kind of are a different spectrum of people's like hubris and need to control getting out of hand.
It's manipulating everyone around.
Yeah. So, you know, any of the 5 topics that are talked about, they're not on its face very horrible things until they're taken to an extreme. Like the song In My Pocket, you know, you think about interactions between anybody, between friends or family or something. Somebody is in need and someone does a favor for another person. Well, nothing is on its face expected in return. But there's always this kind of feeling like, well, now I owe this person something. So if you take that basic concept and you blow it up to a more extreme transaction, it can become really horrifying really quickly.
It's like that saying, every virtue can become a vice.
Yeah, every virtue can become a vice. Sure. Everything that's kind of expressed in these songs are things that people do every day, but just stretched out hyperbolically to a point of ugly an ugly display
The
of
most extreme point of any of those
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah, it's the looking at, maybe some people don't want to look at that ugly side of life, but you're like looking at it and showing the world with your music, like how ugly actually human beings can get. So I'm guessing you had inspiration when you're writing the lyrics. What inspires you to with the lyrics, especially like when you're, do you look like at current events or past events in history?
Yeah, I'd say that we use that. I mean, I would think that a lot of inspiration just comes from going to work.
Hmm.
I mean, all of us, and I mean, by all of us, I mean the proverbial all of us experience all of these things all the time. It's just to what degree, you know, does this happen to you? I know a lot of this stuff comes from a place of something personal in my life that's happened in my lifetime. I think we could pretty much everybody can identify with somebody who is trying to get a rise out of somebody else or take advantage of someone else. I'm pretty sure that anybody's been in a situation like that. So thing that I like about what we're doing with the music, especially lyrically, is that if you're, able to read the lyric sheet or really listen in, it's stuff kind of like, I don't know, akin to maybe like blues or country western music. Its initial intent in that they're writing music because they're at the very lowest point of their being.
It's sorrowful.
And so the listener, if they're also in a low point, can feel more together or a connection with the music.
Yeah, really absorb it at that point.
Yeah.
No,
So-
yeah, yeah. I'm guessing live should sound pretty brutal live. This music.
We like to think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we it's real loud, and we typically try and write sets so that we don't have to hear anybody say anything in between the songs. So
Like usually one big.
yeah, it could sound just like one long song, but we'll often write transitions so that there's just always something happening, until
Okay.
it's over.
So
Yeah.
people just shut the fuck up and don't talk in between
Basically,
songs.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and if they don't, we can't hear them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they could. Yeah, you could hear them with the sound. So, what bands inspired you when you were creating your sound?
Somebody else take the lead. You can put out your.
Oh man, there's a lot of great bands.
Yeah, a big influence of ours is definitely Swans.
Yeah, like early
Yeah.
Swan stuff. Really like Godflash.
Godflesh.
Mhm.
I mean, everybody listens to totally different stuff. When we put this band together, Ben was coming at it with completely different influences musically
Yeah.
than what me and Chris were coming from, and that was super cool because it helped to make the music way more dynamic.
Yeah.
You know,
Like initially we were like talking, kind of the idea was, oh, we'll kind of combine some Swans with like some death metal influences like Bolt Thrower and Morbid Angel were
Yeah.
kind of thrown out.
yeah, it's like
But then that really evolved once Ben
Pretty
came
quickly,
in
yeah.
too, and we kind of fleshed out the kind of sludge sound that we have too as well.
yeah, when
It's
we first
cool that you can add the Sims as well.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
People also compare us to like Neurosis and Dystopia a lot. I think because of the samples and like maybe like
The
the,
big
s-
percussion.
the story aspect of the songs or whatever. Because I feel like both those bands kind of have that.
Yeah, that real big stacked percussion, like the outros that Neurosis does. That kind of stuff is.
Yeah, I think the music
influence.
the album has a lot of like layers within layers.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's why like you have to pay attention because there's a lot going on sometimes. So it's not like a casual listen. Like you have to like
that's a perfect way to put it. I don't think that you could put this record on and really enjoy what we're trying to do if you're just like trying to have a barbecue and some friends over or something.
It's not cotton candy music. It's
Well,
sit
unless
down
you
with a
want
fork
some
and
of
a
the
knife.
people in the barbecue,
Actually, my house today.
if
Yeah.
there's very conservative people in the barbecue, maybe they won't come again.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, good
Perfect.
riddance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could scare our neighbors away with it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that for sure. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep you guys too long because I know you're gonna practice for the show and get that ready. But like since I have 4 members right now of the band, I can ask everyone like, so keeping an ear to the music that's current is important. So like what new music are you listening to, or it doesn't have to be new music? What old stuff are you currently spinning? And we can go, everyone can say what they're listening to.
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now that I have been enamored. It's not new music at all, but I have been enamored for the last like 2 months with Harvey Milk. All of Harvey Milk's catalog is so good. It's like the nastier kid brother to the Melvins.
Okay.
It's pretty experimental and like heavy stuff. And then there's one album that is just straight up a 70s rock and roll record. It's awesome. And then the subsidiary band that Stephen Tanner, the bass player, did called Music Blues is really good. That's newer.
Awesome.
But yeah.
We got
Okay, so for new, I guess I would say I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna plug them. Our friends from Phoenix
There you
are in
go.
a band called Bra, and they're really good. They're on tour with Conan right now, in the States, and
we're playing Chicago tomorrow night.
yeah, and then I guess I've been like trying to learn more about Ween.
About
the
who?
band Ween.
Oh, I remember that. Their name was annoying.
I have like a bunch of albums and stuff, and they just are really prolific, and so I've been trying to go through that catalog.
Yeah, they just had a horrible name.
It's yeah. But they're really like it's impressive.
Yeah, I think I remember. There's
Very
one
versatile
song I
bands,
remember,
too.
but I can't remember right now. But there was one song that was like a hit, but I can't remember the name now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably on Chocolate and Cheese. That's like the
Something like that, but I can't remember.
bananas and blow or something.
But for modern stuff, I'm been listening to Inter Arma a lot, New Yautja, Chat Pile, all that stuff
Check
is
those
good.
out.
Noise, sludge, modern stuff that's active right now. And I've actually been getting into an older band called Morphine from the 80s.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Cool.
It's 2 sax players and bass and drums, I believe. Very unique, very bizarre stuff.
Yeah, sounds very, very different. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool stuff.
nice.
Yeah, I kind of listen to just a lot of like old school death metal and grindcore. I'm kind of stuck in my ways, so I don't listen to as much new stuff that's coming out.
Don't
but,
fix it if it ain't broken. Right?
yeah, but yeah, definitely into our Buds Thraw right now. They're bringing the heavy death metal that I like.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Nice. So is the dog gonna be part of the show?
You know it. No, we're
It's too loud.
He's
yeah.
not an ugly dog. He's pretty. So,
Yeah.
so guys, it's been great chatting with you, and good luck tomorrow on the album release. Are you gonna? Do you have? I read. I think you're gonna have like cassettes or CDs for this one for now, right?
We have LPs and cassettes available.
Yeah.
We have
Nice.
different colorways on the LPs, and I think we have 3 different colorways on the LPs, and we have red cassettes, and we got shirts and stickers and all kinds of stuff for the
Questions: are the colors ugly or pretty?
Oh, they're ugly as hell.
beautifully ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, big
sometimes
props to
they go like really crazy with these variants where they put like so many freaking colors on them that sometimes
know.
like it's too much sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're like, this is like what,
yeah.
Thousand Island dressing.
Well, we got to give big props to Fry from Satanic Royalty Records. He really
Yeah.
helped us get all this going,
sure.
and
Yeah.
helped put it all together and everything. So he's putting a lot of work in for us, and we got to give them some appreciation as well.
Awesome. So I'll put the link so people that want to buy the album can do it. So, and if besides this show that you're having tomorrow, is there more shows coming up in the future?
Yeah, there's basically at least a gig every month of summer, and then so we're playing with Big Brave and Liturgy in Phoenix. We're doing a lot of shows in. We live in a town called Prescott that's like 2 hours from Phoenix, 4 hours from Tucson. You know, we're a ways away from show towns.
Yeah.
So we try and use this record to anchor more kind of local support so that we can sort of start directing traffic of touring bands to this town that we live in, because this town is a really great place to play on a circuit for touring. So a lot of our upcoming gigs are like in the Phoenix area or Flagstaff. We're doing some shows supporting touring bands. So aside from tomorrow's show, which is with the bands that I mentioned previously, we're doing that show with Big Brave and Liturgy.
That's at the end of June.
And then end of July, we're hosting our friends from Las Vegas called Life's Torment here in Prescott. And then a really good like rock and roll band called Dead Canyon from Phoenix is playing that in July. And then August, we're hosting some friends in Phoenix at Yucca Tap Room.
Sorcia and False Gods.
Yeah, some bands on tour from Seattle and New York.
New York City, yeah.
Yeah, NYC coming through. And then let's see. And then kind of the end of our summer, we're going to do a record label showcase weekend for Satanic Royalty Records in Seattle at the end of September. And we're playing my hometown, Port Angeles, Washington.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be cool.
I just like the name of that record label.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, so well, I want to wish you lots of good times tomorrow at the show and hope that it's a success. And people, if you want to check out like sludgy, abrasive in your face music, check out Ugly and their new album Autograph, which is out everywhere on May 5th. So again, you have a great practice, and until next time, people, this is Hector.
Thank you.
Thank
the
you. Great
Shield on
talking
the
to you.
Couch. And I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.